22 years ago, my life ended and began on the same day. I was 32, working grueling 10-hour shifts as a steelworker in Pittsburgh. That particular night, I just finished a brutal double shift. My body ached, my clothes stank of sweat and metal dust, but I was looking forward to the one thing that always made it worth it: coming home to my 3 kids, hearing their laughter echo through the halls, catching the smell of dinner on the stove, and feeling the familiar chaos of family life. Instead, when I stepped through the door, I was met with silence. No little feet running to greet me. No cartoons humming from the TV. The air felt unnaturally still. On the kitchen counter sat a single folded piece of paper. 8 words that turned my world inside out. I deserve to be happy. This isn't the life I wanted. Don't look for me. That was it. 7 years of marriage gone in seconds. Her name was Vanessa. My children were Mason, 6 years old with eyes like mine, Tessa, 4, sweet and stubborn, and baby Caleb, only 14 months old. She didn't just walk out, she executed an escape plan. While I was busting my back at work, she had packed her bags, dropped the kids at my mother's house under the excuse of an emergency, and boarded a flight to California with a coworker named Lance, a guy who sold used boats, wore too much cologne, and had a smirk that I'd always distrusted. I didn't even know she was gone until my mom finally got through to me at work. I'd been operating heavy machinery and couldn't answer her first 3 calls. When I finally picked up, she told me flatly, she dropped the kids off and left. By the time I raced home, Vanessa was already somewhere over the Midwest at 30,000 feet. Her family was shocked at first, or at least they acted like they were. But within a week, the tone shifted. They began to suggest that maybe I hadn't given her what she needed emotionally. I told them exactly where to go and never called them again. That first night was hell. Caleb screamed himself hoarse, calling for his mother. Tessa kept asking when Mommy was coming back from her trip. Mason just sat at the window waiting for headlights that would never appear. I didn't sleep at all. I just held them and tried to figure out how the hell I was going to keep this ship from sinking. I'd worked with steel in the dead of winter and in 105-degree heat. I'd handled dangerous machinery, risked my fingers and my back every day. But nothing in my life prepared me for being a single father to 3 children under 7. But I don't quit. Ever. I switched to the early shift, 4:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., so I could manage school drop-offs and pickups. My foreman, Sam, a gruff old man with a permanent frown, pulled me aside that first week. "You're not quitting," he said. "We'll make it work. Those kids need you steady." And he kept his word. When daycare called, he covered for me. He never made me feel like less of a man for leaving early to pick up a sick kid. The divorce was swift. Abandonment is abandonment. She didn't contest it, didn't even show up. I got full custody, the house, and, most importantly, my kids. No child support. I didn't want her money. I wanted her gone. The early years were brutal. Explaining to Mason why his Mother's Day card had to go to Grandma. Sitting in the audience at Tessa's dance recital and watching her scan the crowd for the mom's seat that was empty. Holding Mason's bike steady as he learned to ride, tears in his eyes because he wished his mother could see. I never spoke badly about Vanessa to them. I didn't need to. Kids see who shows up. Dating? That didn't even make the list of priorities. My world was steel and kids. For 5 years, I barely looked at another woman. Then I met Lauren. She was a nurse, treating Tessa after she broke her arm at the playground. As she wrapped the cast, Tessa, 10 years old and unfiltered, looked at her and said, "You're pretty." My dad's single. I wanted the ground to swallow me. Lauren just laughed and said, "Let's fix this arm first." We dated for 2 years before she met the kids. She didn't try to be their mother, she just was there. Mason warmed to her first. Then Tessa. Caleb, who barely remembered Vanessa, adored her instantly. We married when Caleb was 11. It was a small backyard ceremony. At the reception, Tessa, 13 by then, leaned in and whispered, "She's the mom we should have had all along." I cried like a fool. The kids thrived. Mason became a carpenter and now earns more than I ever did. Tessa became a teacher. Caleb's in his last year of engineering school. Vanessa? We never heard from her. No calls. No cards. Nothing. Her sister would occasionally let slip that she was still in California with Lance. Eventually her name became just that, a name. Until last month. It was a Saturday. I was changing the oil in Lauren's car. She was inside making dinner when the doorbell rang. She answered and froze. A voice followed that I hadn't heard in over 2 decades. "I'm looking for Daniel. I'm his wife, his first wife. Vanessa." I walked to the door. Time had not been kind to her. She looked worn down, hair dull and streaked with gray, clutching a battered suitcase. Dan, she said, voice trembling. I know this is unexpected. Unexpected, I said, is running into someone at the grocery store. This is audacity. She started to cry. Please? I just need to talk to you. To the kids. I made a mistake. A mistake, I said, is forgetting your wallet at the store. You abandoned 3 children. That's a choice. She explained that Lance had left her. She'd been living in her car. She had nowhere to go. You're my family, she said. Lauren actually laughed. Family? Honey, you don't know the meaning of the word. I am his family. I'm the one who raised your children. That's when Mason pulled up from work, 6'3", built like a linebacker. He took one look and said, You're her. Then after a pause, You're not my mother. My mother's right here. He kissed Lauren's cheek and walked past Vanessa without another glance. She stood there stunned. He doesn't even know me. That's what happens when you walk out on a 6-year-old, I said. They forget you. I told her to leave or I'd call the cops. But she didn't stop. Over the next 3 days, she showed up at Mason's construction site, at Tessa's school, and even at Caleb's college campus. Each of my kids told her exactly where to go. Mason called her an egg donor. Tessa told her, Thank you for leaving. It was the best parenting decision you ever made. Caleb, the most polite of the 3, said, I'm indifferent. You trained me to live without you and I got really good at it. Then came the kicker. She sued me for parental alienation and emotional distress. The judge dismissed it in 10 minutes. You abandoned your children. You have no standing. Case dismissed. We thought that would be the end of it. We were wrong. She tried to contact Tessa's future in-laws, spinning lies about me being abusive and controlling. That's when I hired a private investigator. Within 48 hours I had the full picture. Lance had drained her accounts and left her. She'd been fired for theft, arrested for bad checks, evicted 3 times. She wasn't here for family. She was here because she was broke, homeless, and out of options. When I told the kids, Mason said, So basically she traded us for Lance and now she's shocked the trade expired. We laughed. Then we blocked her on everything. 2 weeks later Tessa called me, voice tight. Dad. She showed up at the church. My stomach dropped. The wedding was a month away. Vanessa had been in the parking lot, cornering Warren and his parents after premarital counseling, telling them she was Tessa's real mother, and warning them about our broken, dangerous family. Lauren didn't even look up from folding laundry when she said, Time to go on offense. We filed for a harassment restraining order, for me, Lauren, and all 3 kids. The PI's report became Exhibit A. Abandonment. No contact for 22 years. Repeated unwanted approaches. Disrupting workplaces and schools. Spreading false statements. The works. In court, she tried to play the victim. Cheap black dress, crocodile tears, saying she just wanted to rebuild her family. The judge leaned forward and said, You abandoned 3 minors for over 2 decades. You do not get to rebuild by ambushing them as adults. That's not reunification. That's harassment. Restraining order granted. 5 years. No contact. That weekend, the kids threw a barbecue to celebrate. Mason grilled steaks. Tessa brought wine. Caleb strummed his guitar in the backyard. At one point, Mason raised his glass. To the woman who actually showed up. Mom. He looked at Lauren, who laughed and shook her head, eyes shining. Tessa added, And to Dad, the man who never let go of the wheel even when the ship was sinking. Caleb plucked a cord and said, And to Vanessa, thanks for leaving. You gave us the life we were supposed to have. We all laughed. It wasn't bitterness anymore. It was closure.